footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
Yes.
Like, and Trey's like literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory.
Jaguar Wright just dropped a bombshell in a wild new interview, confirming some of the darkest rumors about Diddy and Justin Bieber. The R&B singer, who used to tour with Jay-Z, spilled jaw-dropping details claiming Diddy didn't just get close to Justin for personal reasons. She says he even handed Justin off to his inner circle. Shocking. With Diddy now facing legal heat, Justin's name is back in the spotlight. And not in a good way. Weird old clips of him have been popping up all over the internet. But according to Jaguar, that's nothing compared to what she says she's holding. Tapes. Yes, unseen and seriously disturbing footage that could land Diddy in major trouble. This might be what finally brings the music mogul down. Before we get to what's allegedly on those tapes, we've got to rewind, because Jaguar claims Diddy and Justin had a secret connection that lasted 15 years. Wright has been calling out Diddy way before the world caught on to his behind-the-scenes behavior. And she's not backing down now. She says Diddy's shady treatment didn't stop with Bieber either. According to her, several young male artists were caught in his web, Meek Mill included. Meek tried to shut down the gossip in a heated Twitter rant, but Jaguar says there's way more to the story. Things got even messier after Cassie's explosive lawsuit came out. Justin started trending again, and not for the right reasons. Cassie's lawsuit cracked the door open, and now a flood of disturbing claims about Diddy is pouring out. People are suddenly looking back at Justin Bieber's time with Diddy, and things are starting to look real shady. At first, it felt like folks were just overthinking the influence Diddy had on Justin. But now, the puzzle pieces are lining up, and it's getting hard to ignore. Jaguar Wright brought more heat in a new interview with Storm Monroe, speaking directly about a troubling video of Justin with Odell Beckham and Trey Songz. In the clip, Justin seems to be caught in a seriously uncomfortable situation. Some viewers tried to brush it off, saying maybe Justin was just partying too hard, but the age gap and the setting make it feel way more disturbing. Older men surrounding a younger Justin, cheering him on in toxic ways, that's not something to ignore. Jaguar didn't hold back. She said what Justin was doing with Odell wasn't innocent at all. According to her, it had nothing to do with just partying or drugs. It was way darker. She claims Justin, clearly intoxicated, was involved in an inappropriate act with Odell, while Trey Songz allegedly played lookout to make sure nobody stopped or recorded what was going on. That right there takes the creep factor to another level. And this isn't random. It all ties back to what Jaguar says was the beginning of Justin's troubled spiral. Those infamous 48 hours he spent with Diddy. There's even a video where Diddy promises to hook Justin up with a house and a Lambo. Knowing what we know now, that moment feels way more sinister. Jaguar Wright isn't letting this one slide. She insists that what went down between Justin and Odell in that video wasn't just wild partying, it was something way darker. According to her, Justin, completely out of it, was caught doing something intimate with Odell that crossed all kinds of lines. And here's the kicker. Jaguar says Trey Songz was right there, not helping but keeping watch, making sure nobody stopped it or hit record. That's some next level disturbing stuff. She says this wasn't a one-time thing either. Jaguar believes it all traces back to those infamous 48 hours Justin spent under Diddy's wing. Something that's now being re-examined in a whole new light, especially after a clip surfaced showing Diddy promising Justin a Lamborghini and a house like it was nothing. Fans were left speechless. What makes it even creepier? Justin did get a Lamborghini right after getting his license, and it looked a lot like the one Diddy was talking about. That's when people really started connecting the dots. Why would a music mogul hand over such a flashy, expensive gift to someone so young and so new to the game? It didn't feel like a mentorship move. It felt like something else entirely. Speculation exploded online, with many saying Diddy acted more like a sugar daddy than a mentor, rewarding Justin with pricey gifts in return for something nobody wants to say out loud. And with the sickening claims from Cassie's lawsuit and Lil Rod's accusations piling up, this theory isn't sounding so far-fetched anymore. Some folks believe Justin might have gone through way worse than we thought, especially considering how young he was at the time. People are pointing out the major shift in his vibe, comparing the bright-eyed teen we first saw to the drained, troubled version that showed up just a few years later. Whatever happened behind the scenes clearly left a mark. And what's wild, the red flags were there the whole time. We just didn't connect the dots until now. There's footage where Justin looks super uncomfortable, stumbling over his words while talking to Diddy. And word on the street is that Justin's team was trying to distance him from Diddy for a while. Allegedly, they were freaked out by how Diddy's influence was messing with Justin's mind and health. They reportedly stepped in, trying to protect him from going off the rails. That might explain why things felt so tense between them later on. In one video, Diddy pops up out of nowhere, trying to reconnect with Justin. The energy is weird. Diddy even pats him down like he's checking for a wire or something and whispers something in his ear. Then Justin ends the moment with a quiet, "love you," which only made things feel more suspicious. Another piece of this twisted puzzle, Justin's shift into heavy drinking and partying. After hanging around Diddy more often, things changed. At Diddy's wild 2014 pyro party, Justin was spotted holding a bottle that looked like aqua hydrate. But people weren't so sure that's all it was. The timing and setting made everything feel off. Look close at that bottle Justin was holding at Diddy's party. It didn't look like just water. It had a weird yellow tint, sparking rumors that it could have been alcohol. Or maybe something else entirely. Fast forward a few years, and Justin himself opened up about how dark that chapter of his life really was. He said he felt hurt, lost, angry, and totally misunderstood. That's not the kind of pain you fake. Behind the fame and flashy lifestyle, Justin was clearly going through it. And while Diddy wasn't the only reason for his struggles, Jaguar Wright and others believe he played a serious part in it. Justin entered the spotlight young, way too young, and without the kind of solid protection a kid in that position needs. The scariest part? Grown adults were the ones around him. Grown adults who should have been guiding him, not taking advantage. One moment that sticks out happened in 2011 at the Brit Awards. Justin, barely 17, was sitting down for an interview with James Corden, and things got real uncomfortable. Corden leaned in close, acting way too familiar, and dropped comments that made a lot of people uneasy. He said, "Can I say this? You smell amazing. How old are you? Wow, look at your eyes. Say what?" Justin, clearly not feeling it, calmly answered, "I'll be turning 17 in 2 weeks." But the vibe was already off. Corden's comments didn't just cross a line, they blurred it completely. Fans watching later couldn't believe how weird and inappropriate the whole thing came across. That moment's been revisited in a whole new light now, and people aren't brushing it off anymore. At the 2012 American Music Awards, things got awkward real fast. Justin, just 18 at the time, was suddenly grabbed by Jenny McCarthy, who was 40, and pulled into a kiss he clearly didn't want. She held him by the neck like it was some joke, but Justin's face said it all. During his acceptance speech, he didn't hold back, saying, "I feel so violated right now." And honestly, he wasn't wrong. But that wasn't the only time Justin was put in weird, uncomfortable situations. In another interview, when he was just 15, someone straight up asked him if his parents had ever given him the talk. Justin, annoyed and rightfully confused, fired back, asking why a total stranger would ask something that personal to a teenager. It was invasive, plain and simple. Justin's rise to fame has been full of sketchy moments like these, moments that no young artist should have to deal with. What's crazy is that the people who were supposed to have his back, like Diddy and Usher, often weren't there when it counted. They should have been his shield. Instead, they left him exposed. Usher showed up in Justin's life just as his career started blowing up in Atlanta. Justin was only 13, wide-eyed, and tossed into an industry full of traps. His mom, Patty Mallet, had been praying hard that her son would meet the right people on his journey. But looking at how things played out, it's clear he didn't always find them. When Usher and Scooter Braun first stepped into the picture, Justin's mom, Patty, thought her prayers had finally been answered. She truly believed these big names would protect and guide her son. But what she didn't see coming was how their influence would steer Justin down such a rocky and dangerous road. Usher didn't just mentor him, he put his own people in place, like his buddy Ryan Good, who became Justin's so-called swagger coach and tour manager. But as Patty later admitted, that guidance came with a heavy price. She felt her grip on Justin slipping fast. One minute he was her grounded, humble son, and the next he was catapulted into a world of non-stop fame, pressure, and insane riches. It was too much, too fast, and it hit like a storm. Patty could see Justin needed real stability, but during those long tours, she barely had any access to him. And that's the harsh reality. People love to point fingers at the parents of child stars, but they often don't stand a chance against the ruthless machine that is the entertainment industry. It's a space full of predators, vultures in suits, waiting to pounce on anyone young, gifted, and unprotected. Then came the turning point, Usher introducing Justin to Diddy. That's when things reportedly took a turn for the worse. Word is, Diddy didn't waste a second. He brought Justin in close, but not to mentor him. Not in any way that felt safe or supportive. That introduction might have opened the door to a world Justin was never meant to walk into. Instead of being a mentor, many now believe Diddy was actually grooming Justin, just like he allegedly did with Usher years earlier. Diddy has this track record of stepping in and claiming some kind of guardianship over young talent. He did it with Usher while working on his debut album. But instead of protecting him, Diddy reportedly dragged Usher into a wild, grown man lifestyle that no teenager should have been exposed to. Usher has dropped hints over the years about how intense and damaging that time was. He's never told the full story, but his words suggest that what he went through might have been even worse than we realize. Behind closed doors, whispers say Usher ended up in the hospital more than once because of the chaos he was caught in. And now, former associate John Deal is stepping in, sharing chilling insight about what was really going on. Deal didn't mince words. He suggested that Diddy may have subjected both Usher and Justin to the same twisted treatment. He even described Usher's connection to Diddy as a possible trauma bond, where someone feels trapped, even loyal, to the very person who hurt them. It's deep. And the way Usher carefully chooses his words when speaking about Diddy, that silence speaks volumes. Usher's never publicly addressed the most explosive rumor that he was Diddy's so-called boy toy, but things got even murkier after court filings from the Lil Rod case came to light. The documents mention a convo where Mr. Combs allegedly bragged about sleeping with two major names, a rapper and an R&B singer. The dots are lining up. According to the court documents, the clues were pretty loud. One man was described as a Philly rapper who had a high-profile romance with Nicki Minaj. The other, an R&B star with a Vegas residency. Fans wasted no time connecting the dots, calling out Meek Mill as the rapper and Usher as the singer. And that's when things really started heating up. Usher has spoken before about the chaos he faced at Diddy's infamous Puffy Flavor camp. But what really raised eyebrows was something Diddy himself admitted. He said he and a young Usher once shared a bed. This strange confession came up during a party Usher hosted with comedian Kevin Hart. Diddy tried to laugh it off, saying they were just fighting over Frosted Flakes. But Kevin's awkward reaction didn't help. It only made the whole thing feel way more uncomfortable. People are still scratching their heads, wondering why Usher keeps protecting Diddy. But when you consider the trauma and confusion that can come from these kinds of experiences, it starts to make a little more sense. And Usher's not the only one. Other male artists have reportedly been caught in Diddy's shadow too. Meek Mill, for one, has been tangled in similar accusations. His name popped up in the Lil Rod lawsuit too. He's been hit with claims of intimate encounters with Diddy, and ever since, his behavior online has gotten seriously erratic. Jaguar Wright didn't sugarcoat anything in her interview with Storm Monroe. She flat out claimed Meek had been with Diddy more than once, and even went so far as to label him a power bottom. According to her, Meek's relationship with Nicki Minaj wasn't about love. It was all about keeping up appearances. Jaguar Wright's been calling this out for a minute. In another interview with Real Life Productions, she dropped more shocking claims, this time about Meek Mill possibly getting caught up with the Smiths. She said Meek might have been mentored by Will and Jada in ways that weren't so innocent. According to her, there's a darker side to Hollywood where young men try to run from these so-called mentorships because they're really just manipulation in disguise. And let's be real, nobody's shocked that Will and Jada are tight with Diddy. Those connections have always made people side-eye, especially with rumors flying that Meek was Diddy's special friend. If that's even halfway true, it wouldn't be a stretch to think Diddy introduced Meek to the Smiths for, well, their own private reasons. Old clips and photos of Meek have come crawling back to the surface ever since that lawsuit dropped. One that really got fans talking? A picture of Meek and Diddy wearing matching pajamas, looking like they just finished a sleepover. Then there's that viral video of Meek chilling in the pool while Diddy sweetly calls him daddy. Yeah, that one raised a whole lot of eyebrows. Now, two grown men tossing that kind of nickname back and forth, that's not your everyday bromance. And to top it off, there's a clip of Meek performing in the club, and Diddy's face when Meek hits a certain lyric. It's like he's getting hit with flashbacks. In the middle of all this, Meek's been doing everything he can to shut down the rumors and prove he's straight. Meek Mill spent an entire week on Twitter trying hard to prove he's all about women, like really trying. He dropped tweets bragging about how often he gets it in, saying, "When I got a girl around me, I'm effing her twice a day," clearly trying to hammer the point home. He even threw shade at other rappers with more flamboyant style, saying he came from that gangsta is surviving in the jungle life. But while he's busy defending his image, he's also pointing fingers. Meek says the media's out to destroy him, accusing them of pushing rumors just to ruin his name and sabotage his music drops. He's been loud about how the industry keeps labeling him as either a snitch or something else, claiming, "We're generating hundreds of millions from music. It's not a coincidence they call us all gay and snitches." According to him, it's a setup meant to shake hip-hop from the inside. Still, even with all that noise, Meek hasn't directly denied the rumors about being close to Diddy in that way. And guess what? Some believe Justin Bieber has that same kind of trauma bond with Diddy. Despite everything that surfaced, Justin's still showing love. He even jumped back in the studio with Diddy for his latest Love album. Crazy part? That collab came right after Diddy sold his entire music catalog for $200 million. Yet somehow, he still pulled Justin back in for a song called Moments. Justin even got nostalgic, talking about the time he pitched a track to Diddy when he was just 14. That's got people looking sideways all over again. Sadly, Justin himself admitted the first song he pitched to Diddy was trash. He laughed about how Diddy definitely would have shut it down with a hard no. But fast forward a few years and suddenly Justin's freestyling on Diddy's album. He even posted, "Love you, Diddy," which had fans doing a double take. That message stirred up a whole lot of questions about what kind of bond they really shared. Then things got even weirder. A video popped up online showing Justin at a party with Diddy and The Game, where they were seen handing him drinks. What's in those drinks? That's still unknown, but some folks are speculating they may have been laced. The most disturbing part? There are claims that Justin was being passed around by Diddy and his crew during that same party. It's hard not to imagine how trapped and confused Justin must have felt in that environment. Just like Usher, he's kept tight-lipped about his time with Diddy. But Justin did drop a documentary that gave fans a glimpse into the emotional weight he's carried growing up in the spotlight. And yeah, watching that, it hits hard. Now, according to someone close to Justin, he might finally be ready to speak out, if it helps the investigations moving forward. While he's not eager to go public, he understands the gravity of the situation. What remains unclear is whether Justin has come to terms with the idea that some of those past moments with Diddy may have crossed serious boundaries. But if push comes to shove, he may just tell it all. Jaguar Wright just dropped another bomb, claiming that Diddy allegedly sold a wild freak-off party tape on the dark web for a jaw-dropping $500 million. Known for exposing some of the darkest corners of the industry, Jaguar went all in during a recent viral interview. According to her, this wasn't just a rumor, it was a desperate move. She said, "The last freak-off tape that just got sold on the dark net, I monitored it. It went for $500 million. When asked whether Diddy was protecting powerful people or being protected by them, she didn't hesitate. He's selling it because he needs the cash, she claimed. The alleged footage? It reportedly came from an outrageous event in Calabasas, filled with the kind of moments most stars never want the world to see. As if that wasn't enough, a resurfaced interview with Justin Bieber has fans talking again. In 2020, while chatting with Apple Music's Zane Lowe, Justin opened up about Billie Eilish and the warning signs he saw in her rise to fame. His voice cracked as he said, "I just want to protect her. I don't want her to go through anything I went through." You could hear the pain in his words. He reflected on how hard it was coming up in the game so young. "It was hard for me being that young in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone telling me they loved me. It's clear those early years and certain people he crossed paths with left scars he still carries. They say they love you, then turn their backs in a second." That's what Justin Bieber said, peeling back the curtain on the dark truth behind fame and the betrayal he faced from people who were supposed to guide him. Now, in a newly surfaced TikTok clip, Jaguar Wright is putting more fuel on the fire, making bold claims about Diddy's alleged obsession with gaining control over Bieber during his early rise. According to Wright, Diddy had a hard time getting close to Justin until Usher stepped in. She claims that Usher took on the role of Justin's manager, only to hand him over to Diddy for a shady 48-hour stretch. Wright didn't mince words. She said Diddy's intentions seemed predatory and that Usher may have known exactly what he was doing. She described how Usher initially promised to protect Justin, only to allegedly deliver him straight to Diddy. Then she asked the question that's now haunting fans. Does Usher still sound like a good guy? Especially now that the world is getting a clearer picture of who Diddy really is? That's a heavy question, and Wright wasn't backing down. She closed the video by saying, "They didn't see what was in his heart when he took Justin there," hinting that this was no innocent mentorship move. And just as all this resurfaced, Usher wiped his entire Twitter claiming he got hacked. That suspicious move came right after Diddy's shocking arrest. New revelations from Diddy's trial have shaken the industry to its core, exposing disturbing details about his infamous freak-off parties. According to reports, these events weren't just wild. There were violent threats and manipulation involved, with women allegedly being forced into drug-fueled orgies, some including male escorts. The situation's so serious, Diddy's been denied bail twice. Jaguar Wright came forward again in a bombshell interview, claiming that videos from these parties, now being traded on the dark web, feature massive names like Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. The internet exploded. While some fans believe there might be truth to it, others slammed Wright for name-dropping and spreading what they called sensational rumors. But Jaguar didn't back down. As a former backup singer for Jay-Z and someone who's seen the industry up close, she explained how a digital currency called Dark Coin is being used to keep these videos from leaking, basically shielding high-profile buyers and sellers in the underground world. Most folks don't even know this kind of trade exists. Adding to the chaos, an old video has resurfaced, showing Kevin Hart and Ashton Kutcher chatting about Diddy's wild parties. Fans are now watching that clip with a whole new level of suspicion. And now pressure's mounting for celebs like Bieber, Usher, and Kutcher, who've all worked with Diddy, to finally speak up about what really happened behind closed doors. To make things even messier, Jamie Foxx has now been linked to these parties too. Reports suggest Foxx may have been recording footage, following Diddy around with a camera during one of those infamous Beverly Hills hotel pool parties. The whole thing is spinning out fast, and people are demanding answers. Jamie Foxx recently broke his silence about a terrifying health scare that landed him in the hospital back in April 2023. It all started with what seemed like a simple headache. He took an Advil from a friend, and then everything went dark, literally. Foxx says he blacked out for 20 days, completely lost his memory, and battled major complications that left fans and family scared for his life. But here's the real twist. Foxx is now hinting that this wasn't just a random medical emergency. He's implying that it was an attempt on his life. And the name being whispered behind the scenes? Diddy. That's right. In hushed conversations and subtle comments, Foxx has alluded to intense pressure and secrecy around his condition, hinting that whatever happened might be linked to what he saw or recorded at Diddy's infamous parties. He's not alone in this. Comedian Cat Williams has come out swinging, publicly backing Foxx's claims. According to Cat, this wasn't just bad luck. He says Jamie's health crisis came right after he started pulling away from Diddy's inner circle. Williams hinted that Foxx knew too much and that someone may have wanted to shut him up before he talked. Jaguar Wright har varit på att kritisera Diddys mörka sida i år. Och nu, det ser ut som om folk slutligen börjar lyssna. As more disturbing stories surface, fans are circling back to her warnings and realizing she might have been telling the truth all along. And while the headlines keep piling up, the real concern is shifting toward Justin Bieber. One fan's comment is echoing across social media. "I'm concerned for Justin. I hope he can get through this. He was clearly a victim and does not seem as strong as Cassie." That sentiment is hitting people hard. Justin's silence speaks volumes, and with everything now coming to light, it's clear that his journey through fame came with a price no one should have to pay. The support pouring in shows just how many young artists get caught up in a world that looks shiny on the outside, but is full of traps behind the scenes. This isn't just about one star. It's about exposing the system that lets this stuff slide. If you found this deep dive eye-opening, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.